Red Lobster is where America goes for seafood.
What makes Red
Okay, picture this. It's a weekend and you're heading out for a family dinner. The destination? Red Lobster. You can almost taste the warm and cheesy Cheddar Bay biscuits melting in your mouth. Well, for decades, Red Lobster was the place for affordable seafood, family gatherings, and special occasions, but little did we know that behind the scenes, this seafood empire was actually caught in the midst of a perfect storm that would eventually end up making the company bankrupt. Today, I'm going to talk about the rise and the fall of Red Lobster. This story begins in 1968, when Bill Darden opened up his first restaurant in Lakeland, Florida. His vision was simple, yet revolutionary, to make high-quality seafood accessible for everyone, even those who were far from the coast. The concept did catch on quickly, and in 1970, General Mills acquired Red Lobster, which gave Darden the resources that he needed to rapidly expand his seafood chain, and within just a couple of years, Red Lobster had grown to dozens of locations across the United States. Then, in 1974, popcorn shrimp was introduced. It was a dish that was made of small and bite-sized shrimp, breaded and fried until they were crispy, and it gave it a flavorful and crunchy texture. This dish would go on to become an enduring favorite of Red Lobster fans. Meanwhile, catchy slogans like "For the Seafood Lover in You" and well-thought-out advertising campaigns had resonated with customers while helping the brand to grow its loyal followers exponentially. And by 1978, Red Lobster had opened up 236 restaurants and was generating about $291 million in sales. The 1980s and 90s, they were the golden years for the restaurant chain. In 1984, they launched the Lobsterfest, an iconic annual promotional event featuring a variety of lobster-themed dishes and special menu items, and at unbelievable prices. The event drew huge crowds in who were eager to indulge in limited-time seafood offerings. By 1985, Red Lobster had 372 restaurants, and it was generating $834 million in sales. By 1988, the chain had crossed the $1 billion mark, reflecting its massive popularity. In 1992, Red Lobster introduced another winner, the Cheddar Bay biscuits, a menu item that became so popular it would become synonymous with the brand in the years to come. In 1995, General Mills then decided to spin off its restaurant division, and they created Darden Restaurants, which included Red Lobster, Olive Garden, and some other chains. And at the time, Darden was already generating nearly $3.23 billion in sales every year. Fast forward to 2001, and Darden Restaurants set a record of marking 16 consecutive quarters of sales growth. It was outpacing nearly all of its peers in the quick-serve industry and had already reached $4.02 billion in sales. By then, the chain had already grown to 661 restaurants across the United States and Canada. Everybody thought that Red Lobster was going to be the McDonald's of seafood. However, fate had other plans. In 2003, Red Lobster launched an endless Snowcrab promotion, offering all-you-can-eat Snowcrab for just $22.99. Now, this seemed like a great idea to attract in seafood lovers, but the promotion quickly turned into a financial disaster. Customers flooded the restaurants, consuming far more crab than was anticipated. The promotion then led to a staggering $3.3 million loss in just 7 weeks. The high cost of the crab, combined with the extensive labor required to serve it, had made the promotion unsustainable, and things got so bad that the chain's president actually had to resign. By 2008, Darden's revenue had climbed to $7.22 billion, but the Great Recession of 2008 hit the casual dining sector hard, and Red Lobster was no exception. As consumers tightened up their belts, dining out became something of a luxury that many people just couldn't afford. Red Lobster, which had over 680 locations at the time, saw both its sales and profitability stagnate for the first time in its history. The economic pressure forced the company to reevaluate the business model and its operational costs, And in 2014, they decided to sell Red Lobster to a private equity firm called Golden Gate Capital for $2.1 billion. Unfortunately, the sale included a crucial element that would end up breaking Red Lobster's back: a sale-leaseback agreement for the real estate that it owned. Now, under this agreement, Red Lobster had sold its properties and then leased them back, which did seem like a great idea because it provided an instant cash influx that could be used to expand the chain. But this move saddled the company with long-term lease obligations, and these leases often included rent increases, adding substantial financial pressure on Red Lobster. Golden Gate Capital's ownership brought in aggressive cost-cutting measures that were aimed at improving short-term financial performance, but often at the expense of long-term stability. This included reducing labor costs, which affected service quality, and making menu changes based on cost rather than customer preference. This led to a decline in customer satisfaction and loyalty. These changes, combined with the lingering effects of the economic downturn and previous promotional missteps, had set the stage for challenges that Red Lobster would face in the following years. In 2016, Golden Gate Capital sold a majority stake in Red Lobster to Thai Union Group, one of the world's largest seafood suppliers. And this change in ownership would bring about new operational strategies, but unfortunately also increased complexities, because the chain had to balance its business objectives with the interests of its major seafood supplier. Between 2016 and 2022, the Thai Union Group implemented significant cost-cutting measures to improve Red Lobster's financial performance, but that also included reducing labor costs by cutting staff while increasing the workload on the existing employees. The company also substituted higher quality ingredients with cheaper alternatives. Most importantly, it cut down the menu by removing less profitable items, such as certain regional seafood specialties, and that limited the variety that Red Lobster was known for. Red Lobster also faced challenges with its top management during that time. In 2014, after Kim Lopdrup stepped down as the CEO, Sally Seta took over. But shortly after that, Lopdrup then again became CEO in 2017, and eventually was replaced in 2020 by Paul Kenny. These frequent changes in the top management made it really difficult for the chain to maintain a stable direction and effectively address its operational challenges. Then by 2018, Red Lobster's revenue had reportedly fallen to $2.6 billion. It was struggling with its profits, but the final nail in the coffin came in 2023 when Red Lobster made its popular Endless Shrimp promotion a permanent menu item. Now, while it initially drove customer traffic, it also resulted in significant financial loss, with the company incurring an $11 million quarterly loss. By May of 24, the company had officially filed for bankruptcy. This resulted in the immediate closure of 90 underperforming locations, and the filing also initiated a comprehensive restructuring of debt and lease agreements to reduce the financial strain while improving operational efficiency. In June and July, as part of ongoing restructuring, Red Lobster closed several more locations, and the firm began exploring potential buyers to save the brand from collapse. The future of Red Lobster really remains uncertain. Successful restructuring and finding a suitable buyer could help to stabilize the brand while potentially restoring its market position, but the alternative is for the firm to close down completely. I hope that doesn't happen because it's going to break the hearts of millions of seafood lovers across America. And let's be real, those Cheddar Bay biscuits, Overall, Red Lobster's journey from a seafood dining giant to facing bankruptcy, it only highlights how financial mismanagement and corporate greed can run even the best of companies into the ground. So, what do you think? Will Red Lobster make a comeback? Be sure to let me know your thoughts below. And if you enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe, like the video, and hit that notification bell so that you can get more videos like this one in the future. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.